Welcome, everybody. It's Monday night again and time for our empowerment session. And tonight we're going to be talking about adaptogens and pregnancy. And we're going to hear from a couple different people, some of their stories. And then I'm going to talk about a couple different changes I made to protocols with my pregnant women, which I've worked with pregnancies, fertility for 42 years, always been one of my specialties. Loved it. And we're going to see how Solle has impacted the pregnancies and the resulting babies. Let's hear what Amanda has to say.
Hi, y'all. I'm Amanda. I just wanted to hop on quick and tell you about the impact that the Solle products had on my pregnancies and my deliveries. My pregnancies both were very different. The first one being very happy and healthy. The second one, home life and relationship completely falling apart. But I have to say with confidence that I had zero issues with pregnancy itself. I had very minimal weight gain. I had regular bowel movements. I had mild sickness and mild baby brain. I had very calm and focused deliveries, both of them at home. My first one was 3 hours. My second was 2 hours. Both times I did my skin to skin. I hopped up. I needed to put on my makeup, fix my hair, clean my house, do all the things, which I still get laughed at to this day. But that was just part of it. Both of my girls were born 2 years apart. They were pretty much twins, born 2 years apart. Both of them came early. My first one came 9 days early. My second one came 8 days early. Both of them weighed 7 pounds, 1 ounce, 20 inches long. It was like my body grew my babies to where they needed to be and said enough is enough. Let's have these babies. And so we did. And so it was amazing. Both of my girls slept all night from night one and still do. They're great sleepers. And they know if they have a boo-boo, if they have something upset, anything, where's mom? Where's the oils? Where's the Solle products? We need them. And so that's been fun. I breastfed both my girls 2 years. My second one, I was even gone out of the country for 10 days and came back, and she went right back to nursing. And I never had any issues through all of that. Since having kids, after my first delivery, my period came back in about 6 months and was right on a 28-day cycle. Is normal. And then after my second one, I didn't have a period for about 2 months, and then came back on my 28-day cycle. And here I am 3 years later, and it's still right on 28 days to the dot. And I have to say, my biggest stress in life is if we know that our products are running low, we've got to get them ordered. We cannot run out. Like, we can't do it. That's not an option. So, sorry that was so quick, but I hope that this helps somebody. Hope you have a great day. Bye.
I was so glad that Amanda agreed to share her story. Some of you have heard the initial story from when her eldest daughter was born, but having her updated now that she has the two girls. And it really was impressive, the difference in the environment that she was in, and yet how the adaptogens help to keep everything as healthy as possible and normal as possible for those babies while in utero. And she had amazing deliveries and home births, and she did remind me of myself, because definitely even after the first one, within hours, and I had a home birth too, I was up, jumping up, getting dressed, going out and taking the baby out and doing things. I had things to do. So I appreciate Amanda willing to share her story with us. And so I was pulling a couple things, and even as I was listening to Amanda, I realized that I forgot to put an item up here. So these are some of the most common things that my moms are using during their pregnancy. And you're going to see the D3 down there, which we'll talk about that in depth here in a minute. But the one item, so I don't forget it, to talk about it, which should have been up there, is the NeuroIM. Since getting that, I've had several pregnancies that the moms have added that in. And I've seen two huge benefits, the very noticeable benefits with it. One was helping to keep that blood sugar regulated because one of the clients who used it had had issues with gestational diabetes in the past. And they did also take the cinnamate, but they had done the cinnamate on the pregnancy before, and for them that wasn't quite enough. So when we added that neuro IM, and granted there was some eating issues there too, but once we added in the neuro IM with the cinnamate, it nailed it for them. And some people do need that extra help. The other thing that the neuro IM did for some people is the pregnancy brain. It just allowed them to focus, and those that have used it have had multiple younger children at home already. So we already know that it gets, your thinking gets scattered because you're focused trying to do one thing and then a different child needs you. The Soul Megas and the Infatuate both. I'm a big advocate of using the good healthy fats during pregnancy. It's so important for brain development, the central nervous system, the skin development. And as you go throughout into the pregnancy, further along, more fats can be required, especially there at the end. We find it makes a difference in delivery time as well. It also is helpful having your fats when it goes into nursing. The Soul Maca, we have a lot of moms who either the Maca or the Excel, they were already taking it when they got pregnant because of how well Maca works with the reproductive system. And they continue to take it all the way throughout their pregnancy. The Vital, it is a game changer so far as helping with iron count. We're also going to find that that longevity does that as well, is what I anticipate. But the Soul Vital, absolutely good for that, that liver help. And what I'm finding too is when we have a mom who's already on a Soul protocol, for instance, the Bella Health Package, which is the Vital, the Cinnamate, the Vertizymes, and ProBio, then we don't have the same types of issues with morning sickness. Morning sickness is often tied to an overwhelmed liver. So that's why bringing that Vital in is helpful. The Adaptable, just a game changer for helping keep the, you're growing another human being. That in itself is a huge accomplishment, but it's also stressful. It's a lot of work. So helping keep that be as easy on the system as possible, having good probiotic, especially whether we're doing a vaginal or cesarean delivery, having that, in particular, vaginal delivery, having that good, whoops, it went backwards there. Let me get you back here. Having that good bacteria present will make a difference in the indoctrination. And then we have a lot of moms who will make a drink using the Complete Infatuate and the Avant Greens, the Spire Greens, because it gives them some very good dense nutrition and that protein. And it's just all healthy building blocks for getting that baby up and running. Now, I am very excited about having the longevity as our plant source for the D3. And it's really important because, well, number one, we need something that's very bioavailable. For years, people and my pregnant moms and clients were using the best form of D3 they could find, but we weren't having the type of results that we're having already so fast with the longevity. I mean, within a 24 to 48 hours, people are noticing a difference. Now, this becomes important when it comes to pregnancy because the body is using more D3. And I found this article talking about vitamin D deficiency related reproductive consequences. And so I wanted to look at this. So when we talk about the mother, we are finding, and they talk about that D3 and vitamin D is tied back to infertility issues. So getting that D3 up and in the body and up and running is going to be very important. And this, the D3 longevity does a fantastic job with that. But they also see issues like placental insufficiency. Otherwise, the body's not being able to have a strong enough, healthy enough placenta to support the growth of the baby in a good, healthy manner. Bacterial vaginosis, that's one reason why I liked using the ProBio IQ, and which I will still continue to use. And there is ProBio in this. Not enough, though, to tie in and be your supplement. We have enough in there to help support the D3 and the utilization in the body. Also, gestational diabetes. And when we're low in our D3, we are more prone to having issues with that diabetes. And I've seen too many people that come to see me with diabetes issues. And then preterm birth. And these are all things that they, in this paper that was published, directly related to D deficiency. Now, when it comes to the baby in utero, what we also see when they're low in D is that they don't have the space available to allow them to grow in an ideal way. So they can get kind of restricted. We also see that the body can have spontaneous abortions. And then we also see an increased risk of metabolic disorders in adulthood, which of course we would see as diabetes or hypoglycemia. And then metabolic disorders can go into other directions too. And also you can see with high blood pressure, heart attacks and strokes as well. So they're tying D3 to when a mom is pregnant of how it impacts that baby. In fact, this statement is so major that I found in this paper, I wanted to share it. And they come out and flat out say, as pregnancy progresses, the requirements for vitamin D increase, thus increasing the risk of hypovitaminosis D, otherwise not enough D, they're low. Consequently, the majority of women become or remain vitamin D deficient and remain vitamin D deficient during the pregnancy and the postnatal period. Guys, this is huge because you need D3 also when you're nursing. So, and to recover, it is so important. And, they talk about geographically. Any of us that live north of the latitude running between, if you were to connect the dots between Albuquerque and Oklahoma City and run that line across the United States, we know automatically the further north we go, the more deficient in D3 we are. Well, I would risk or say, argue, let's put it that way, argue that even further south, we're going to see D3 deficiencies because people are not going outside as much as they were. If they are, they're using sunscreen or they're covering up or they're just not being exposed to the sun at the right times of the day. And so they're not making the D3. Now, this whole slide here is really, really exciting to me, but I will tell you next week, I'm going to be talking in depth about the longevity. So we will leave this here, but this is why I will be using this D3 specifically to support my moms during the pregnancies. So this is our third oldest and our youngest daughter. And our daughter there, Jessica, she was pregnant with her second child, which is the top photo of the little boy there. He is my birthday twin. And compared to her eldest son, his pregnancy with her was so much easier, so much. And this kid is so laid back. In fact, all the nurses and everything were just remarking about it. It was just amazing. And she did not have any of the blood sugar issues with him that she did with her oldest son. And then almost a year, just over a year ago, last week, 2 weeks ago, in fact, his sister came along. So they're about 18 months apart. And again, very, very healthy, very easy, laid back children. This is common with our moms who use Solle and the adaptogens throughout the pregnancy. Let's think about it. Adaptogens are known for their ability to help our body to work with stress. So if we're feeling less stressed while we're pregnant, regardless of what's going on, otherwise, are we having this buffer that's keeping it from impacting our babies in utero? Our babies are coming out into the world not stressed out. I hear too many stories from moms when the babies are born, the minute they hit the ground running, they start screaming and they don't stop. We're not seeing that with the Solle babies, at least not to my knowledge, not ones I've worked with. So this is very exciting to me. So kind of keep that in mind. And then this is actually Tammy Bontrager's grandchildren, and both of them are Solle babies. And she wasn't able to be on tonight, but let's see, they're about 18 months apart too. So the granddaughter, for a first time pregnancy, I mean, very easy. These are both natural births, easy deliveries. And then just a couple weeks ago, the grandson was born. And again, even easier, just about 3 hours of labor for him and about 4 pushes. And just calm, serene children. And the granddaughter there, she is very, She is very intelligent too, and that's another thing we're seeing with these soul children. They're very on point with their mental abilities. So I don't know if it's just be also because these people that are taking the soul are also very nutritionally minded, so they're doing everything they can throughout the pregnancy. But I would argue not, because I've been working with those types of moms all along, and we've seen a lot. But this is a different type of combination that I'm seeing in these children that are being born with these pregnancies. So Jennifer Pressimone, who is the formulator of the Soul Essential Oil Blends, this is specific direct from her how to utilize these blends during labor and delivery. And she's got them up there, using diluted with a carrier oil. This is verbatim. If you know anyone that's pregnant, you may want to take a picture of this information to be able to use with them, and even how to rotate and balance the oils in the process. And I really like, and I've had multiple mothers do this. They use these with just balancing the body in contractions, in between contractions, helping to bring them on at different points, but having each one of those oils diluted separately in a different roller bottle, and then utilizing them throughout the, like I said, the pregnancy or through the delivery. Just amazing. And it, of course, it's going to help the people that are around them as well. So great, great information and proven to work very effectively. So when we talk about postpartum nursing, and again, this is hard because I'm simplifying a lot of this. And I imagine what I will do at some point is come back and specifically kind of get in depth at a different time for some of these individual items. Now, there's more products that people use throughout postpartum nursing, but I was thinking of some of the major ones. For instance, I had a client who grandchild was born, and that grandchild was what they call a snowflake baby. So otherwise, it was an in vitro baby. And so when they had to take progesterone shots every day of the pregnancy, the baby was born, so that immediately that meant there was a huge progesterone drop. When you have drop your progesterone that significantly, which is going to be different whenever they're using injections to help, then all of a sudden we had major disastrous type postpartum depression. So what we did is we used the adaptable and then the Excel, Vital, and Renew. And literally within hours, the mom was able to give a thumbs up because before she was just sobbing uncontrollably. But within hours, she was able to shift right around and be able to enjoy this child that they had worked so hard for. And then the Excel is also outstanding for nursing. And so that helped with stepping into that next step with the nursing. The Renew has got an adaptogen in it that's really good, and midwives like it a lot too, for helping the body to rebound after pregnancy and delivery. I talked about having good fats when we're nursing, and then the D3. So now I'd like to ask Mignon Rogers, who's a naturopathic doctor, to share a little bit about her experience with her clients.
Thank you so much, Valerie, for asking me to speak this evening. It's an honor to be with you and everyone, and it's an honor for me to work with women who want to have a baby, and their body, they feel like their body is being very uncooperative. I was one of those women years ago before I even knew what herbs and natural health was. So to be able to help them to work through this process and experience having these children has been really exciting. So getting their cycles regulated, helping them with other aspects of infertility. Then when they come or they call and say, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant, it's such an exciting thing. And they go through these pregnancies really well, supporting, getting all their nutritional support, helping with that, some recovery with energy. If they will take their stuff and be consistently and take their stuff, use their supplements through Soul and be consistent, they do so well. And they have great pregnancies. And then their deliveries are really good, and they've had healthy babies. And that's what The important part is. So then after those babies come home or right after birth, and they're nursing these babies, there's a natural cycle of things where that milk flow the nursing can fall off and reduce. And using the Excel has been extremely helpful. My daughter-in-law, she was nursing twins, and the Excel was phenomenal for keeping her supply up to nurse those babies. And then as those babies grow, they start getting little bits of Vital in their sippy water, and it's watching them love their green water or their juice, or they all have names for it, Hulk juice or whatever. It's so fun. And you know that they're getting good nutrition, and they live in a little stressful world too. So it's great to support this aspect of all their lives with adaptogens. I've also had a few dads that, they love the Solle Maca, and it's helped with some fertility issues, or they have reported, I really know that helped me whenever we were getting pregnant. So I am thankful for the adaptogens. I am thankful to have a part to play in helping these people with their families. And I am thankful that Solle has looked and got the adaptogens on our radar, and here we are helping people in a way that we never thought before. It never was something that we knew so much about. We were using so many things, and now I can use just a handful or a few things and get such great results. And my people appreciate that too. So thanks so much. I hope this is helpful. Bye.
So Mignon sharing also about the Excel with her daughter with the twins reminded me, I had a mother who was pregnant with their 11th. And as you become older in going through pregnancy and delivery, and in the nursing, it is more challenging at that point stage in life for milk production. And so what we did was we used the Excel, and she was actually able to nurse that child longer than any of the other children that she had had. So, which was kind of neat because that was her final pregnancy. So you just never know what types of blessings we're going to get from these products. Whoop. All right. And at this point, I had asked Greg if he would share a little bit about the safety of adaptogens, since we are talking about pregnancy, and that's something that a lot of women always ask. So Greg, if you can unmute yourself and then let me know if I need to share the screen with you.
Thank you, Valerie. No, you don't need to change the screen at all, other than just to take my picture off there. But just weird to see myself. But I'm just really thankful listening to you today, and to Mignon and several others, for all the education to mothers, because this topic about safety of adaptogens is one of the, I was almost going to say the main reason, but if it's not the main reason, it's side by side with the amazing balance of adaptogenic herbs that they have, plant compounds on either side of imbalance. That's a characteristic they all contain. There are many plants, right, that have adaptogenic properties, many, but that have all of them, and that are officially, I guess, there's not really an official list somewhere in an archive, but let's say almost universally considered adaptogens, having what I like to say are those 5 qualities. I remember them because it's the fingers on my hand. And one of them is safety. Is they all belong to that category in Chinese herbology. And I'm trying to think of what they call, I always forget the word. I like the word that they use. It's not premier, but it's, I can't remember that. When they classify herbs, the most safe categorization in Chinese herbology is the herb that you can use every day and in the quantities necessary, so that you can increase quantities, you can use what is needed by the body. Superior, that's the word. They call them superior herbs. and it's kind of, I love to always point this out, it's kind of the inverse of how we look at things here in the West. Something that's super potent and you better just try this once and don't take too much. And we just go, ooh, wow, that's powerful. And it's just the opposite. And that brings us to mothers. We don't want the opposite. We don't want that, the inverse. We really want exactly what adaptogens bring, which is something that's safe. And it's not always easy to get that education out there because there are many, many studies. But it's funny, I think I might have quoted this on our longevity launch, that one of our leaders, when he was a young boy, his dad told him, looking at a product, the label endures whatever's written on it. It's the results and the consequences of the use that really matter. And so that's why I was saying I really appreciate Valerie, Mignon, and so many people who help pregnant and nursing mothers, because it takes away all the nervousness and all the fear. There are hundreds and hundreds of mothers throughout these first few years of Solle that can stand up and talk about how it changed everything. There are so many stories of mothers with severe health situations where doctors are even recommending, even an abortion because they're that nervous about their health. And I know of one, I'm thinking of one in Florida in particular, who always had to be with the first child had to be in bed, and the doctor this second time was kind of a surprise. And that coincidentally aligned with her meeting someone from Solle who told her all about really these products that Valerie's shown. And she took them, and she took all of them throughout her pregnancy, didn't have any of the experiences that she had. She was diabetic. She had lots of things that came away, and not all of that moved into the normal range quite quickly within a couple of months. Her baby now, in fact, she might be on one of the Solle videos, Valerie. Her little baby comes to the meetings with her. She's 2 or 3 now, I want to say. Super healthy, never had to have, and she's just like Mignon said, she likes to drink her vital water. They have a name for it. But adaptogens are exactly the thing. I believe that's why we have them on the earth. They're just, if there's ever a place where they're especially needed, it would be that situation when a mother's worried so much about this other life, right? And they want to just do nothing but the best for them. And so I've, over the years of Solle, gotten more and more and more comfortable telling people when they ask, because that question always comes up as new people get on Zooms, right? Or wherever they connect in, that I have so-and-so who's pregnant, can she take it as well? And my answer is always, well, only if she wants her children to thank her later on in life, because it just helps avoid so many issues. I saw that you had infatuate there, Valerie, and I remember one of Allison's quotes. She showed the study that if in that first year of life, extra good fats, the healthy fats in larger quantities, are part of the mother's diet, they name 5 or 6 of the diseases that are really plaguing us in our generation, that the risk goes down substantially. Just simply those omegas or that infatuate or both are happening. So, and they all have a number of adaptogens in them. The adaptogens are proven over many, not just years, but millennia. They are something that it's a specialty of them, in my mind, that pregnant mothers and nursing can actually use adaptogens. And we actually try to, Valerie knows this because we consult together in new product formulations. We try to only combine the other herbs with the adaptogens that are also quite safe, so that always the products are a combination of adaptogens and great complements that we know are kind of things that you can use in the quantity, I like to say the quantity needed. And I think during pregnancy, I know a fraction of what you know as women, but I have learned this of watching my wife and helping what little I could with our 6 kids, that man, there is such a demand for energy, a special demand for energy from women during pregnancy, during nursing, and I don't know if it ever goes down with kids. Kids just do. And adaptogens are amazing at producing good energy in the body, working at the mitochondria, not being stimulants, but just improving, modulating our energy production so we're more successful. And that's kind of my final comment is safety and really an ample amount of energy which is needed for balance throughout pregnancy.
Perfect. Thank you, Greg. And he absolutely touched on what I believe was making the huge difference in what I was seeing these mothers not only have healthy pregnancies, but actually excelling at being pregnant and their ability to enjoy the pregnancy and enjoy also when the baby's born because it's a happier baby. So now I'd asked Spica to share something. I'm going to tell you she's going to be really fast. And she told me later because the thing she was using to film on only would give her 1 minute and it would cut her off. So she was trying to say a whole lot in a short amount of time. So be prepared to keep up with her.
Good evening, Soul Friends. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I used Soul products during my pregnancy in 2016. So I often used Soul Complete and Vital in the morning. It helped me curb cravings, but not only that, it actually pretty well extinguished my morning sickness, so I was really thankful for that. I often used AC cream for any aches and pains, and now I find it really funny now that my son is 4 years old and he can tell me what he wants. He often wants a Vital. Almost every day he drinks a Vital, and he still loves it. I know when he was in the womb, he would often do lots of flips and kicks when I would drink Vital, or about 30 minutes into drinking Vital. So it kind of introduced that, and he still loves it to this day. So I hope you guys have a good evening, and God bless. Bye.
So Mike is also one that we actually discovered that using the AC cream on over her liver got rid of, she had only like 2 little short amount of times where she had a little bit of morning sickness and headache and then bowels slowing down. And the AC cream, just a dab over the liver every time, fixed it. And so from that point on, I've recommended it for many mothers. And to my knowledge, it has worked every time it's been used. They haven't come back saying they've had issues. In fact, they've gotten relief. So normally at this point is where I talk about the Bella Health Program. But what I want to talk about is what is in the Bella Health Program and everything we've talked about here with Soul that makes it so unique, and really just touch on in a visual form what Greg was talking about. Remember, the adaptogens in these formulas, what is addressing our foundation, along with the added herbs that we blended in these formulas. Working on that foundation for your own health is what I find is helping these mothers have this great healthy pregnancy and help produce great healthy babies. So remember, we're not just giving roots to you, you're giving roots to the babies too. And another fun fact that you may not know, as a mom, when you are pregnant, and in particular with a little girl, not only are you working and helping her to be healthy, but she's already born with all the eggs that she will ever produce in her lifetime. So you're also working on the health of your grandchildren. These adaptogens are important. They're very, very important for helping change and strengthen our lineage of our family and our genetics, not only physically, but also emotionally. And when we feel better on those, then it follows along with spiritually as well. So this is Tammy's oldest granddaughter when she was born. And I just thought this was a great photo to finish up with. It says, "A baby is God's opinion that life should go on." And that's from Carl Sandburg. And as I looked and was trying to figure out a quote and find something that was, everything seems so status quo. This to me was so, it just fit. And so, and then to be able to combine it with this beautiful little soul baby as well, just made it even better. So next week, I will be talking more in depth specifically on the longevity difference and why you guys are going to hear me start adding it in to the Bella Health Protocol as the way that I'm going to recommend for people starting their health programs. this formula is having that big of an impact, and we're seeing a very quick results from it. So I'm excited about that. So hope to see you guys next week.